morning, students. Welcome to the Retail Management course. Today we are going to start with the session 1, and basically we are going to look at the revision of marketing concepts. Before we begin with the course, little about myself. I am Dr. Pradeep B. Salgaonkar. I'm founder director of SALDOTS Academy. I'm a professional facilitator and a corporate coach. I operate from Goa. Probably this is 10-15 years that I have been teaching this particular course, both at MBA as well as BBA level. So I hope you enjoy this particular course. So once again, welcome to the course, and let's begin with session 1. And that session is going to be revision of marketing concepts. To begin with, let me put a question to you all. What is marketing? You have studied marketing in your first year, your second years. Throughout you have been listening marketing, all the various concepts of marketing, and have been doing a lot of marketing and studying and looking around a lot of marketing. So what exactly is marketing? Marketing basically is an umbrella term which comprises of marketing planning for your promotional activities, planning for your customer service, planning for your distribution channels, planning to create demands within the customers, planning to put the product, the distribution channel, the logistics aspect. So all these things, if we take together, become a part and parcel of marketing. So marketing is an umbrella term which comprises of many things which ultimately are working towards meeting the customer's requirements or meeting the customer's demand. So simply put, marketing is trying to meet the customer's demand. In other words, we can say marketing is creating a demand and trying to satisfy the demand by giving whatever the customer requires. There are two aspects in marketing. One is there is an existing demand in the market, there is a need with the customer, and you produce a product to fulfill that particular need or demand of the customer and give the product to the customer. Alternately, you have a product which is new to the world, a product which is new to the market, and you create a need within the customer so that your product is sold, so that a need is created within the customer and that need is fulfilled. Like for example, if you look in the history, then in the history, if we go back, the first chappals, the slippers what we wear, our ancients were not wearing chappals, they were not wearing slippers. So the first chappals were probably discovered by accident because it hurts your feet. So when you come out with a product accidentally, you have to create a need. Like for example, the toothpaste. In olden days, people are using those neem sticks to brush their teeth, or they would use charcoal, or they would use tobacco to clean the teeth. But then once the toothpaste was developed, because there was a need to protect teeth. The teeth were decaying, although they were using betel leaves and neem sticks and all those things. The teeth were getting decayed, and by the time the person is about 30, 35, 40, he would have lost his 50% of teeth. But today you see, even at 80, 90, people have all 32 teeth intact, and that's possible because of newer products which has come. The need was created within customers that yes, you need this product, and that's how the product was given to the market. And you know today the toothpaste market, how big it is. So that's creating a need. Or alternately, you already have an existing need for the customer. As they say, mother is the need is the mother of invention, all inventions. So necessity creates newer product. So you have a need, you work on that need, try to give a product to the customer. And when you have a product which is going to fulfill the needs of the customers, all related aspects like promoting it, like making it available, like packaging, all these things would come in marketing. So marketing is an umbrella term. Simply put, it caters to fulfilling the need of the customer, creating and satisfying needs of customer. Then what is selling? Selling is trying to give to the customer what you have. Simply put, marketing is manufacturing and giving to the customer, putting in customer's hand what the customer wants, for which he has a need. You're providing a solution to the customer in marketing. Whereas in selling, you have a product and you're trying to sell the product to the customer. The customer necessarily may not require that product, but you're trying to push it onto the customer. Simply put, marketing is manufacturing and giving to the customer what he wants. You create needs and satisfy needs. Selling is you manufacture and sell what you can manufacture and give it to the customer. That's the basic difference. Selling is an exchange process where there is exchange of goods or services, and there is and money between two parties. That's selling, to put it in simple words. So selling is a subset of marketing. What are needs and what are wants? Needs are very immediate. Wants are long term. Needs are short term. Immediately you have to fulfill that particular need. Like for example, hunger. When you're hungry, you need food. Whereas biryani may be a want. You're thirsty, you need water to quench your thirst. But lime soda, fresh lime soda, or fresh tender coconut water may be your want. So need is something which is immediate, which is short term, and want is something which is long lasting. Why they are important in marketing? Because both these things have to be created by marketeers. You have to create needs, you have to create wants, and you have to fulfill them by giving your products. Alternately, customers will have needs, customers will have wants. You have to identify those. There will be subtle needs and subtle wants, unstated needs and wants. You as a marketeer will have to identify those and come out with products, give such products to customers which will fulfill their unstated needs and wants. What is demand? Demand is a need or a want backed by your capacity to pay. If you don't have the capacity to pay, then it's not a demand. You should necessarily have capacity to pay for your need or want. For example, I am thirsty, I want a soft drink, or I want a fresh lime soda, and I have sufficient money in my pocket. So I walk into a restaurant and buy that soft drink. So I'm creating a demand for that soft drink or that fresh lime soda. If I don't have the money in my pocket and I'm wanting a fresh lime soda, then it's not demand. I have a need, I have a want, but I don't have the required money in my pocket, then it's not demand. It's just a need or a want. Another example could be I want to have a helicopter of my own and not a car. But then probably I don't have the capacity, I don't have the required resources, the money to buy a helicopter. So that's really not a demand from my side. But if you take some well-known personality, a rich personality, then it is a demand. Tomorrow, Mr. Ambani says tomorrow I need a new helicopter, then it's 100% a demand. So demand is something, a need or a want, which is backed by capacity to buy. What is a product? We understand in layman's terms a product as a physical good which is given, a product, a pen, a toy, a bet, a ball. So it's a product, we say. A laptop, a computer, mobile handset, it's a product. But if we go a little deep, then a service which is associated with the product is also a part of the service. Why do you buy a product? You buy a product to fulfill a particular need of yours, and that is a service. You buy a laptop because you want to process your letters, you want to process your documents. You buy a mobile phone because you want to take videos, you want to take selfies, you want to make phone calls, you want to browse the internet. You don't buy a product for sake of product. You buy a product for the service the product gives. So a product is bundle of benefits which is given by the manufacturer to the consumer. So product is not the physical aspect of the product, the physical part of the product, but the product is necessarily a solution which is associated with that physical product for which the customer buys the product. Who is a customer? A customer is one who has a demand. That means he has a need, he has a want, and he has a capacity to buy that particular product. He has a demand. That becomes a customer. There could be someone who is a potential customer. Potential customer is who has a need, who has a want, but today he may not be having the capacity to buy. Like for example, you tomorrow, when you get married, you want to have a house of your own, a separate house. So you want a house. There are two reasons why you won't buy it today probably. One, you're not married. Second, you may not have the required capital to buy that house. Tomorrow you may have it. So it's a long-term want which you have. So it's the futuristic demand, or it's the demand which is going to come in future. So you are a potential customer. So customer is one who uses the product, buys the product, uses the product. A customer necessarily need not be a consumer. Just understand the difference between a customer and a consumer. Who is a customer and who is a consumer? A customer is one who will buy a product, who will make the decision of buying a product, who will spend on the product. He may have a need, he may not have a need. He may only be a buyer of the product, but he may not necessarily be a user. He is a customer. So who is a consumer? Consumer is the one who ultimately consumes a product. So that's the thin difference between customer and consumer. Just understand this so that it's not a confusion in the future. So who is a customer? Customer is one who buys your product, uses your product, makes decisions to buy and use your product. Who is a competitor? A competitor could be anyone who gives a substitute or an alternative or a similar type of a product to the consumer. Anyone who you feel is going to hamper your business by offering his or his products or services in the market is a competitor. It may be a similar product, it may be a differentiated product, it may be a niche product, it may be a substitute product, anything. Anyone who in the market is capable of hampering your business, your sales, is a competitor. What is the marketing mix that you have studied? What are the different P's? We talk of the 4 P's, very well known 4 P's. The product, the price, the promotion, and the place. The product, basically we have seen slightly in detail earlier. The product, what it comprises of, the physical product and the services attached, ultimately giving solutions to the product, to the customer. The place, the price, what pricing you are deciding based upon your marketing forces, based upon your competition or whatever it may be. The promotion, what sort of promotion you are using to market your product, to create the need, to create the demand for your product. Advertising, promotional schemes, the various discounts that you offer, the distribution channel which you have, and the commissions which you give to the distribution partners, supply chain partners. And the place where you are making your product available, how fast you are making your product available to the customer, how efficient is your logistics, how efficient is your supply chain management. You announce a product, you make the product promote the product on television or through some advertisements, and the product is not available with the retailer, ultimately the demand is lost, the sales are lost. It's of no use. Like for example, couple of products recently, Dabur has launched its immunity booster pack. The product is advertised, but the product is not available in the market. At least in Goa market, it is not available. For last week at least, it was not available. So that's the importance of supply chain or logistics. So that's marketing mix as far as the products are concerned. You have your the product, price, promotion, and place. What is STP? STP is segmentation, targeting, and positioning. You must have seen this in detail in your marketing classes. Segmenting, how you segment your population or how you segment your customers. Various ways you can segment your customers based upon geographical segmentation. You can use the behaviorals, you can use the demographics. Various ways you can segment the market. Targeting, your target segment which you feel is going to use your product. And the positioning is how you are trying to place that product in the minds of the consumers so that your product becomes top of the mind awareness of the consumer. When you think of a problem like, for example, a tooth decay, a problem related to tooth decay, or a problem related to oral hygiene. Tooth decay, you think of Colgate. Oral hygiene, you think of Listerine. So how the product is positioned, how you are trying to hit onto the psychology of the customer by through your promotional campaigns, through your advertisements. That's segmenting, targeting, and positioning. PLC stands for product life cycle. At what stage of the life cycle your product is. The various stages of product life cycle are the introduction phase. Of course, the pre-introduction phase we are not touching upon. We assume that the product is ready and is put in the market. So introduction phase, the growth stage, the maturity stage, and the decline stage. So these are the four major stages which you have, and it's a S curve. So you have the introduction stage, the growth stage, the maturity stage, and you have the decline stage. The four important stages, and they are important in marketing, or they are important in any field where marketing is associated, is because at these four different stages you have to have different stages to attract your customers and give your offerings to the customer. Similarly, in retail also, this life cycle is very important, very essential. I'm not talking of in retail the life cycle of individual products, but of the store per se, or of the market per se, of the different the product mix which is offered in the retail. So you have to be particular about the product life cycle. So the various stages: introduction, growth, maturity, and the decline. And then at the maturity stage, you have a set of strategies whereby you are trying to strike another S curve, going from the maturity stage above to again growth, again maturity, trying to achieve that. Meaning you're not allowing the decline to come through your strategies, maybe through your product differentiation, product diversifications, modifications. All these strategies can be used. Pricing, aggressive promotion, different strategies can be used in enhancing another life cycle for your product. Market analysis basically is that aspect which you do to understand the market, to understand the competition, to understand where you are going to position what product of yours, to understand your segmentation, targeting, and positioning, to have effective STP, to have effective product and effective satisfaction of customers. You have to do market analysis. You do internal analysis, you do external analysis, you do competitor analysis, various analysis you do in market analysis. Basically, you are trying to understand what the market is like for you to operate in. And mostly this can be done at any stage. However, at the introduction stage or before introducing a new product, you have to compulsorily do your market analysis. Of course, throughout your PLC, you have to continuously do your market analysis. Keep on doing the market intelligence services, which are there. You have to keep on doing your analysis continuously. There are various ways how you do. Either you do in-house or you outsource market analysis. You could do surveys, you could do observation methods, various ways you could do your market analysis. What is value in marketing? How do you understand value? One simple way to understand value is the price which you pay for the product or the service that you avail. That's value. So when you talk of value, value is, okay, I have paid 100 rupees for a particular product. So the value of this product is 100 rupees. This is a pen which I paid 10 rupees. So the value of this pen is 10 rupees. But then that is just one definition of value. Suppose if this pen is gifted to me by my girlfriend, then the value of that pen is much higher. It's not 10 rupees. There is a sentimental value attached to that. Of course, we are not talking of sentimental value when it comes to marketing, but then if you're trying to promote your product in those on those lines, trying to attach emotions and sentiments, then yes, it is important. So value is, one is the price which you pay, and second the emotions and the affection which the customer has attached to that particular product, and third, of course, the situation. The value will change depending upon the situation. It's all situational. Like for example, if you're traveling in the desert and you feel thirsty and you have no water with you, then you will be ready to pay even 1,000 rupees for a bottle of for a liter of water, because what is important to you over there is water and not your 1,000 rupees. So that's value. So it's situational as well. So what is value for customer? How do you create value for customer? What can we do to create value for customer? One is you're offering a particular product or a service which tries to satisfy the customer's need and wants. You're trying to create satisfaction over there. But then there is another aspect which is involved in, as far as the customers are concerned, your behavioral aspect. How are you trying to create that additional value to the customer? That's value for customer. Like for example, you go to the canteen and you're having your samosa and tea, and in the samosa you find there is too much oil, and you complain to the canteen fellow, and canteen fellow says, you have it or get lost. I mean, that's deterioration of value. But then the same canteen fellow says, oh, I'm sorry, give it back, I will replace it. He takes it back and he replaces the samosa which is oil free, or not really oil free, but which has comparatively lesser oil and which is good to taste. He's trying to create value for you. He's trying to give you better value by giving a better service to you. So that's customer value. So whether it is product or service, the important thing is how do you create value for customer. So customer value is that aspect which the customer feels valued. It's not only the product or the service, the customer feels valued. Customer feels I am being considered important. That's customer value. How you create one step higher satisfaction. You are satisfying the customer by giving your product or your services, but then how can you go one step higher to satisfy that customer? What is lifetime value of customer? Lifetime value of customer is all that value which the customer will give to you, all the business which the customer will give to you over a period of time, over the period of his lifetime. For example, if a customer, you expect him to do business with you for next 10 years. Today he is giving a business of say 1,000 rupees a week. That's 4,000 a month. So 4,000 into 10 years with maybe a 10% escalation every year. So that is the value of the customer to you. That's the lifetime value of the customer to your business. So lifetime value is the value which the customer is going to give you, or the business which the customer is going to give you over the customer's lifetime or over the customer's active business or active shopping period. Customer decision making process. We all know, how do you make decisions? When you buy a pen, how do you buy? You just go and you buy a pen, give 10 rupees and buy a pen. Those are routine decision making. If you want to buy a mobile, how do you buy it? You do little research. You ask your friends. If your friends are using a particular mobile handset with particular features, you buy that. Okay, so that's a search decision making. You search for information. Lot of information you collect and then you take the decision. And then suppose you want to buy a car or you want to buy a house. Then how do you buy it? You do lot of research. You get into lot of search, extensive search you do, extensive data collection you do, extensive reviews you look at. As much as information possible you gather about that particular product or about that particular service which you are going to buy. And then you take the decision. So this is called as extensive search related decision making process. So basically the decision making process starts with identifying a problem. You have a problem, you have a need, and then you get into information search, and then you collect information, and then you choose a particular model or a particular product to be purchased, and then you go and make the purchases. So it's a very long process depending upon the type of decision which you are making, whether it is routine or it's a extensive search decision. What is IDA model? IDA model is one of the best models which is used in marketing, or mostly it is used in sales, you could say that. It is attention, interest, desire and action. So you take a customer through these 4 stages. First you seek attention. In marketing, you seek attention through advertising, through promotions. Create a interest about that particular product. Second stage is you create interest. You give more information. You give related references. You give references of the people who are using, well-known people who are using that product. Then you create a desire. Give something additional to the customer. Tempt the customer. Put the customer at a discomfort. How you create needs? You put a customer at a discomfort. So create a desire. Creating a desire is similar to creating a need to buy that particular product, and then get into the action mode. Let the customer act. So this is the famous IDA model: attention, interest, desire, and action model. It is called as very famous in marketing. Coming to customer service, what do you think is customer service? Customer service is basically trying to satisfy the customer. And excellent customer service is when you are trying to satisfy the customer one step above. A particular customer is satisfied, you are trying to enhance the satisfaction level of the customer. So that's customer service. And what is customer satisfaction? Customer satisfaction, customers have certain expectations. And then when those expectations are fulfilled, the customers are satisfied. If they are not fulfilled, they are dissatisfied. And if they are satisfied to a large extent, then they are over-satisfied. So customer satisfaction is the happiness which they get, the good feeling which they get after using a particular product or a service. That's customer satisfaction. What is customer loyalty? Loyalty is referred in 2 ways. One is buying your product again and again. That's customer loyalty. And second is a behavioral loyalty. That is by references, by spreading good word of mouth, by talking good about you, by referring people, by spreading positive word of mouth, giving positive reviews. So basically loyalty is at two stages. One is action loyalty, that is the same customer comes back to you, buys your product, uses your product again and again. Or whenever the need is, the customer will come back to you and buy your product again. And second is behavioral loyalty, that is customer feels good, feels attached to your product, refers your product, talks good about your product. So that's behavioral loyalty. When we talk of services marketing, when we are talking of what is services marketing? Services marketing, as I told you, all the products are having a service imbibed in that. Any product which you buy, it has service component in it. But there are certain products which are only services, or they are service dominant. Like for example, your travel from Goa to Mumbai by flight. What you're buying is a service. You're buying a service product. When you go to the retail, you go to the retail store to buy products, but then all other components, the intangible components associated with the retail setup, they are comprised of services marketing. The way the salespeople will behave with you, the way you are treated, the way you are welcomed, the way frisking is done on you for security reasons, the way the billing counter is handled, the way the billing cashier or the billing representative or the cashier talks to you or deals with you. So all these things, these aspects comprise of the services marketing. Or there could be pure services marketing aspects like your tour services or healthcare services, how you're being treated. So all the products, everything comes with a service attached to it. All the products come with services attached. So why services marketing? In retail management, we have to understand services marketing? Because a large component of the retail business is also services dominant. It is services marketing. So when we talk of services marketing, what are we talking about? We are talking of the services marketing mix. So ASEAN product mix, it comprises of the 4 P's: the product, price, promotion and place. In addition to that, in services marketing mix, there are another 3 P's. You have the people, you have the processes, and you have the physical evidence or the physical setup. The people are the salespeople in the retail business who assist you. The processes are the billing process, the checkout processes, the security processes, the movement within the store. All these are processes. There are certain processes which are followed in the retail businesses. And the physical evidence is the physical ambience which is provided to you, the AC, the background music, the layout of the store, the availability of the products, the signages. All these things will come in the physical evidence as far as the retail business is concerned. So services marketing comprises of 7 P's, that is your product, price, promotion, place, people, processes, and your physical evidence. So when we are talking of retail business, is it a product or is it a service management? Is it a product management or is it a service management? So when basically we are talking of retail business, it is a mix of the two. Though you're going to a retail outlet to buy branded products, it is comprising a lot of the service aspect of business, the service management aspect. Retail business is a combination of both. It's a product business as well as it's a service business. You're dealing with the customer. You're giving the products, the same branded products you're giving, which your competitor is also giving. Imagine there are 3 retailers out over there in the market. All 3 are offering the same branded products. All 3 are having the similar prices. Everything is same. The environment, the physical environment, the availability, everything is same. However, one store does a better business, the other store doesn't do any business. Why is that? It's simply because of the service component which is given by the retailer. A sweet talker, a retailer who is very sweet talker, who can really strike that rapport with the customers, will definitely do a better business than someone who says, no, I don't have. If you want, you take. Otherwise, don't. This sort of attitude is not going to help. So a retail business is a combination of both products and services. Both are equally important in retail business. So when we look at the product, let's understand the product a little more. The total product concept consists of the potential product, the augmented product, the expected product, and the generic product. I'm sure you people must have done this in your marketing class, basic marketing class, but then still we will just touch upon this. The generic product is the the core product which you are buying. For example, when you buy a pen, you're buying a pen to write. Your requirement is the pen should write. It should give smooth writing. The expected product is the pen should be good enough. It should be clean enough. It should be strong enough. That is what you expect in that pen. Augmented product could be the pen has a nice gripper. Pen has a nice styling. Pen has a nice color. It has a nice shape. That's the augmented product. It has a silver lining on that, which makes it more attractive and more beautiful. That's the augmented product. The potential product could be the pen may come with a diamond studded on it. Of course, the price will increase, but then that's the potential. The pen may come with a laser pointer. The pen may come with a torch attached to it. The pen may come with multicolors. So these are all potential products. But when you're coming out with such potential products, you should also see, does it have a demand in the market? Will it be sold? And accordingly, you have to decide. So mostly the people will go from generic product to expected product to maybe augmented product. Very rarely someone may think of going for potential product, but that is the possibility. So augmented product is something which is more than the core product or the generic product, expected product, augmented product. That's the possibility you can have, and then maybe you can think of going for niche marketing or think of targeting the product in a niche market and make your money out over there. It may be a thin, a narrow market, but then yes, there is potential for that. So this is the product concept, just to revise this because this is going to be important. So when we are talking of retail, what will be the generic product that you're offering? The generic product that you're offering is all the merchandise which you're offering, all the product which you're offering. So what would be expected product? The expected product would be the layout should be clean, your store should be clean, the people should be good enough, the basics should be there, the product should be available, the pricing should be right, the product should not be expired, it should be within the manufactured dates. So all these things would come in your expected product. What would be the augmented product? The augmented product would be they would expect the billing counters to be accurate. They expect the flow within the store is good enough. There is no crowding happening. Easy availability of the product. There should be appropriate signages everywhere. The difficulty for the customers should not be there. The billing should be quick. No waiting time should be there. So all these things would come in augmented product. What could be the potential product? Potential product could be every customer you give a soft drink while the customer enters, or every customer you give a gift when the customer exits, or you give every 10th customer who comes in, you give a discount. So all these things could be worked out as a potential product with a retail business. One has to be only creative. One has to be only thinking what different I can do. So a potential product could be anything. The sky is the limit for that. So that's the generic product, the expected product, the augmented product, and the potential product as far as your retail store is concerned, or the retail business is concerned. So what is retail management? Retail management is getting things in bulk and breaking it. The very meaning of retail is to break the bulk. You're buying in bulk, you're buying in wholesale, and then you're trying to break it into smaller packs and then sell in retail. If you buy a bulk of 100 units, you break the bulk and sell individual units. So that's retail. And management is managing all the aspects related with this particular business is retail management. Everything: sourcing, inventory management, customer management, displays, ensuring there are no expiries, making the product available on time. All this will form part of your retail management. So what is the industry structure that we have today? The industry structure is we have organized retailers and we have unorganized retailers. If we look at a developed country like America, USA, then it has about 98% of organized retailers. and about hardly 2% of unorganized retailers. But if you look at a country like India, then you will have around 85-90% of unorganized retailers, and just about 8 to 10% of organized retail. So what is this organized retail and unorganized retail? Your next door kirana store comes under unorganized retail. There is no organized structure for operating his business. Whereas organized retail is, you walk into a mall, you walk into any mall in Goa, for example, Mall de Goa, or the mall in Vasco, or you go to Kakulo Mall. That's the organized retail. Everything is structured. The structure of the business is in place. There is proper taxation, there is proper licensing, everything is happening. Here, tomorrow in your next door neighborhood, you may have a person coming and selling vegetables. So he comes as under a retail vendor. That comes under the unorganized structure. Nowadays, you see a lot of people sitting by the sides of the roads and selling vegetables, fruits, fish, so many things. So that's part of the unorganized retail segment. Even the retail and the kirana stores which you have, that is part of the unorganized retail structure. So that's the industry structure in India. Of course, the organized retail is increasing day by day. More and more organized retailers are operating, and you have the third component of retail, that is, which is taking off of late for last 6 months. If you look at, then the online retail has really taken off, especially because of the lockdowns and COVID related issues. The online retail has taken off. A lot of sales are happening online. You have Amazon, which is very dominant in India. You have Flipkart. You have many other players, online players. So these are the three major verticals which you have. Not really verticals. These are the three structures which are seen as far as the retail industry is concerned. That is, you have organized retail, you have unorganized retail, and you have the online retail. The traditional supply chain channel, or the supply channel which we see in retail, is something like this. From the manufacturer, the goods go to the wholesaler, to the distributor, or to the distributor. Wholesaler and distributor are referred to as the same. From there it goes to the retailer, and from the retailer the goods go to the consumer. Whereas in online, what happens is the goods go directly from the manufacturer to the customer. The wholesaler and the retailer are bypassed. There's yet another model, with the hybrid model, which is coming. From manufacturer, the goods go to the retailer, and the orders are taken online, and then the orders are diverted to the closest retailer to your house, and then the retailer will ship the goods to you. So the wholesaler and the distributor is bypassed. So different models, hybrid models have come out for supply chain, different ways how the goods can be reached to the customer. So what is the role of the retailer in your life? What role do you think a retailer has in your life? Whether it is organized, unorganized, whether it is online retailer, what role do you think the retailer has in your life? This is a question for you to ponder. However, if there is no retailer, we would find it very difficult to survive, to get our basic requirements, to get our basic necessities every day. Especially now, especially in the present day scenario, and also taking the modern day customer, the lifestyle of the modern day customer, I think it's practically very difficult, impossible for very, very difficult for customers to survive if there are no adequate retailers available around in our life. So that's about the basic introduction to retail in nutshell, in short, and revision of some of the concepts of marketing which are related to directly related to retail management. So this is a small exercise which you have to do at home. It's very simple. The question is, what did you experience as regards the retail business is concerned during the lockdown period due to COVID pandemic? last 6 months we have seen series of lockdowns and a lot of problems around. So what did you experience as regards the retail business is concerned during the lockdown period due to COVID pandemic? You have to write this in about 300 words and submit it online for evaluation. Write your experiences, what you experienced, what you saw, what you observed, how did you manage to get that bag of atta in the pandemic times, how did you manage to get those biscuits which you wanted, all these things in about 300 words and submit for evaluation online. Yeah, so that's the session one, that is basically revision of marketing concepts and little bit of preliminary introduction to retail management. If you have any doubts, you can please email me, and I shall be happy to get back to you, or WhatsApp your queries. I shall be happy to get back to you. My contact details are there in the first slide. Thank you so much. God bless you.